and you didn't. One thing I will say about you is you weren't on no Hollywood shit, man. You pulled up, you came to the down there downtown LA, man, hopped out, you know what I'm saying, and shook everybody's hand, took the pictures, and you know what I'm saying, and was just a solid individual. What's how'd you
I
meet
mean,
Ash?
I'm doing a showcase. You know, she had to do a showcase.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, what I mean, like to be honest, you know, like that's what I do now. Like, you know, like my walkthroughs, most of it be all showcases, and you know, with different, you know, like I'll sit there and I'll listen to almost 100 artists. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of
Mm-hmm.
artists. So you know, I I mean, yeah, man, I like, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's
Right.
been my life anyways. You know, that's what is hip hop. You know, shit, I started at 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? So you know,
That's right.
yeah.
That's right.
That's why I don't like what
Yeah,
academics said. You
go
want
ahead.
to talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Mr. Academics. What's going on?
Honestly, like I don't know if he says things just to, you know, get a rise out of somebody. Come here, Zeno. Come here, get your haircut, man. Sit down. But 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 when he said that shit, if I mean that's just the most disrespectful shit that you could say. You know what I'm
Tell
saying?
the people what he said, and
Well,
You
he
can
said that, you
paraphrase
know,
it, bro. Just for
the older artists are dusty, and that the older artists don't represent the old school artists, and like that's some of the most dumbest shit that somebody could say, because the bottom line is this. I mean, let's be honest. Back then, you know, like he would never be able to even survive a week in the South Bronx, like 1 week. Like academics wouldn't survive. Who he is? Let's say we took academics and dropped him in the South Bronx in the '70s, right? Right?
or in
They would have
Compton,
ate his
or in
ass up,
Compton. Yeah, real
nigga. They
shit.
would have ate him up like a pork shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. You know what I mean? So he got to understand, like hip hop came from that, from those conditions, and that the people that got involved with hip hop I mean, it was, you know, it was fun. It necessarily wasn't work. It was fun. The breakdancing, the graffiti, the scratching. Those were all major things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, they in order for it to make money, they had to you know, like I mean, you know, really get it to where people love that shit, and that took years to do. So, you know, same thing with sports, man. Like all these guys that just to establish the sport, people think that the sport just all of a sudden just happened. You know what I'm saying? But the sport took years for people to get onto the sport, to love the sport, to get TV deals and millions and endorsements. Like this was all, you know, a process. And you know, when you disrespect the pioneers like that, then you disrespecting the process. And you know, he's just an idiot. So you really can't expect nothing. That's why I think not too many people are even, you know, commenting about it, because you really can't expect nothing more from him.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think it's so easy for somebody like academics to take general information and spin it to a way where it can be damaging to somebody's career?
I mean, he has the ears of the youth right now. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But that's just the youth. I mean, anybody with a half a brain isn't gonna, you know, agree with the shit he says. You know what I mean? I got love for the youth, but it's like, you know what I mean? There are still adults out here who, you know what I'm saying, who don't work off of ignorance and bullshit.
Right, right. What's it gonna take to change that though, Benzino? I mean, you look. Let's not discount the fact that you owned a media platform when in the source and a successful one in the Source magazine.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? I mean, a lot of people. I remember reading the Source growing up, so you know all too well the importance of putting the right information
Right.
out. So I
We
mean,
wasn't doing that dumb shit and that he's doing. And he should understand his responsibility. But you can't hold him to that. He's making his money, and big up to him for that. He's successful. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean. At the same time, you know that's him. That's that generation. If that's how they want to go out with somebody, you know, who obviously, you know, kind of displayed major ignorance in that shit he just said about old school. Because look, if he's saying that they're dusty, then his moms and pops is dusty because they come from that era.
mm-hmm,
I mean, you know what I mean? Like then his grandmoms is dusty. Then you know everybody's dusty then, because that's the era. You can't say the era's dusty. Shit, they didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? And that these kids, they didn't have the opportunity because the genre was still new. They,
right. No, absolutely. That's some real shit, man. And you know, the only way to make it change or to create that change is for us to make sure that we're looking at the proper platforms and we're not giving gas to the other ones. What about, okay, we talked about academics. What about other platforms like, say, I don't know what, like a no jumper? Like, do you feel like like those, like that type of platform puts, or Vlad TV? Do you feel like they put the right narratives out there as
Listen,
well? Or
listen,
do you feel like that something
listen.
needs to change
Both their
there?
platforms are successful, so obviously they have a audience. And if they have an audience,
Mm-hmm.
then who am I? Whoever some like if you got an audience, then who am I to question that? And
That's a
that's what
fact.
I
That's a
learned
fact.
about the Eminem situation. Look, he got his audience, he has his people. God bless him. If you like him, then that's fine. The problem with his fans are they want you to love them. They want you to, and it's not that serious. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It ain't. It's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? Like you can
Right.
love them, and that's fine. But if I'm not feeling as out of control like you are, then you know what I mean. Then you should respect that and leave me the fuck alone.
No, I get that. You think Eminem fell off somewhat? I mean, like just in terms of the music. I know you don't like him personally, but in terms of his
Nah,
music, you
nah,
think
nah,
he's
nah.
falling off?
He's still spitting the same. He's still spitting the same he was. Like when you reach a level of spit like Buster, Eminem, and all these guys who's been spitting for years, you're just not gonna fall off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just, as an adult, you should have learned more. You should have more to spit about. There should be more things to talk about.
No, absolutely. I totally get that shit, man. It's a whole world out here. We don't have to just be. Do you feel like there's like like I mean, you went through loving hip hop. You went through loving hip hop, the TV aspect of things. Do you think there's too much emphasis on celebrity lifestyle? Do you think that that is affecting us,
Yes,
those of us that are
100%,
watching you guys?
100%. Yes,
Expand on that,
100%.
please.
You can never ever get your shit together if you're being obsessive with somebody else. It's just as simple as that.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? If you take 3, 4, 5 hours a day obsessing over other people's social media and lives and talking about them and I mean if you're spending hours a day, there's only a few hours, there's only 24 hours in a day now. If you taking a big chunk of your day of talking about somebody else, I don't give a fuck who they are, then man, then you're wasting time on bettering yourself. You're wasting time
Mm-hmm.
on trying to make moves for yourself. You're wasting
Right.
time on trying to like establish something so that you could be talked about.
Right.
So yeah, you know, obsessive preoccupation with other people's lives will limit yours.
That's real. No, 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 no. That's some real life type of shit right there. That's real nigga talk, man. That's why now see that's the type of shit that people that real niggas like myself and the ones I see in the audience and on stage, that's the shit we respect. We respect that straightforward line. Like, you know what I mean? Don't dance around the shit. Keep that shit fucking real. Keep that shit
Yeah,
funky. So I get it. I give you your flowers for that
appreciate you.
shit, man. Absolutely. Oh no, no, off top. What's okay? What other let's get back into the business aspect of what you're doing now. Are you still doing the production thing right now, or are you
So
branched off in other
me
things?
and Stevie just got finished killing courtroom TV live the other day. We killed that, and they
Okay.
actually said that it was the best episode of the season. They just called us last minute. Shout out to Victoria over at Big Fish, and yeah. So
Okay.
me and Sleeves been getting back together doing some major things. Don't want to talk too much about that. You know what I'm saying? Yet,
No, no, no.
yeah.
I
But
know.
just the fact that me and my brother, what I'm saying. Shout out to Sleeves. Shout out to Mr. Papers. You know what I'm saying? Like we really are. Yeah, man, we got some things on it. We got some things on the pot. We got some things boiling.
That's some real
Yeah.
shit. That's some real shit, man. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. I
Yep.
like that. So we got that. Are there any? Are you doing any artist development right now, or helping any other artists
Man,
in the
I
game right
just
now?
met a little nigga in the gas station in Old Fourth Ward, boy. This little nigga is nasty. So, I'm gonna try to put some shit behind him, man. You know what I mean? They
Okay.
call him Mon, but no, he dope. He dope. I was impressed. And mind you, I listen to so many rappers daily, monthly. But he's like 19 years old. But he got that Atlanta
Right.
flow. Like his shit is dope. Like I just met him like 3 days ago. So it's funny how you just asked me that.
Yeah, man. Because you know what? I think it's dope that you plucking talent out the hood. You're not going and getting no fucking Jack Harlows, and I respect that
I
shit,
met
man. You know what I'm saying? I don't
I
care who the
met
fuck
I
knows
met
that.
him in one of the right shit. The gas stations down here be the trap. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, niggas die from
yeah,
pumping
yeah,
gas,
yeah,
nigga, on
yeah.
everything. on some real shit. From the time you started doing this, because you say you started doing music at 11 to now 50, being
Yep,
57
yep,
years old, you've seen a lot of
yes,
changes. You've lost some
yes,
things, you've gained some
yes.
things. I mean, what do you feel was the most? Tell this is a two-parter. What do you feel is the biggest lesson that you learned positively in this game, and what is the biggest lesson that you've learned in terms of negatively in this game, as far as
Well,
what to stay
yeah,
away from?
not to expect so much, like not to expect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like not to expect so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I probably, you know, I probably expected a little bit too much from individuals. You know what I'm saying? I think you got to keep your expectations to a limit. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
don't get your emotions involved. Like since we from the hood, it's hard not to because we all grew up with each other and
Yeah.
it be love and
Blood, sweat,
yeah,
and
you know what I'm
tears.
saying. We like you go through the mud. You know what I mean? So together, so you develop a real close knit. Like regardless if it's your blood brother, but they still be your brother because they've been with you every step of the way in the early years, and those are the most important years. The early years are the years that shape you. So, um, yeah, man, just just to not have let my emotions probably what I'm saying. Like I said, my expectations and my emotions get too high.
Right.
You know,
Well, you only human, right? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't ask, you're not a robot, you
right.
feel me? So I can understand. And then based on your reaction to certain things, people draw their own narratives from that too. Oh, he's upset, so he must be this. You know what I'm saying? Or oh, he reacted, he snapped out, so he must be hiding something. So I
I
understand.
gave
You know
away
what I'm saying? It's like,
millions. You know
damn,
what I
if
mean? Like I
if you
gave
know.
away like shit, half my millions to everybody. I made sure
Mm,
everybody ate, and I was doing amazing things. Like it, shit. At one point, I was making more money than Diddy and Jay. Like if there was a Forbes back then, I know I would have been on number one. Not even no cap, no bragging or nothing. It's the truth. Like I
right.
had, we was making almost over $1 million a month, a million a month, M a month every month. You know
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm talking.
saying? That was
That's what
like
the
for a
fuck I'm
good
talking.
2 3 year stretch. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
the
right,
money
right.
we had was ridiculous. So it was just doing all kinds of shit. But I took my whole crew in Boston with me. Met a bunch of niggas in New York. I mean, like everybody ate with me. Everybody ate, and I mean ate.
Right,
So
right.
um, when you're generous like that and when you wear your heart on your sleeve and when you're sincere on really wanting people, you don't want to be the only one around that's doing good. So anybody that you come across, you just fuck it, I got money here, you take it. It's just money, I'm gonna make it more. Sit with a bunch of money here and this motherfucker ain't got nothing. That was always my attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that ultimately, is what broke me too. You know what I'm saying? Is what so if and I don't want to say this in a bad way, but
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to be generous and coming from the hood, and what I'm saying, because you're around everybody. Everybody needs. At that level I was at,
Yes.
everybody around me needs. Everybody on the
Right.
next block needed. Everyone I've ever come across and grew up with needed. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you could either take it head on, you could be like, nah, fuck that, man, fuck everybody, and just be selfish and just go into your own world. And I just couldn't do that.
No, I feel it. I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in the world today. We got a lot going on in terms of, diseases, you know
Man,
what I'm saying, people hungry out here,
fuck.
homeless. I mean, just talk to me a little bit about your view of the political landscape and what's going on in the world, man, and just what you think needs to change.
It's man, politics is crazy because it's like it's something that we're kind of so far from. Meaning, like no matter what, man, this system and until the judicial system changes, man, it's just gonna be hard for a black man.
Mm-hmm.
Just period, bro. Like nothing's gonna change as long as them laws are the way they are, police are the way they are, and courts are the way they are, probation the way it is. As long as that shit is just the way it is, it's just never gonna change, man. It's not, so um, politics won't even mean nothing just because of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because shit,
Yeah.
if you can
No, that's
jump
real.
through the hoops of making it through that and all that bullshit, then okay, you know what I'm saying? Shit, then politics, man, is just so See, in Boston, all the black people went to jail. That was in politics. Every time somebody was a city council, they was going to jail. So there was never no white
Mm-hmm.
people, very few. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just think that the judicial system is what fucks us up. The whole welfare system, and the whole child support system, and you know what I mean, and the whole three strikes, and I can go on and on and on and on. Probation, parole, like all that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's all against us. It works against us,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
while they benefit monetarily from it. They make money from it. So um, until that changes, it don't even matter who the fuck is in office. To be honest.
Absolutely. No, no, for real. What do you do in terms of your local community? Like you already told me, you already helping some local artists and whatnot. Is there anything
You
else you
know what
doing in
I'm
terms of like
saying? You know what? Like I came up and gave so much to so many. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Okay.
That'll last me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No, no,
That
no.
first
Yeah, no.
run,
Yeah, no
yeah,
shade.
that
Hell
first
yeah.
run. You know what I'm saying? Them M's. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Fed your
that'll
people.
last me right there. Like this time around, it's gonna be for the Zista. You feel me? Word,
That's
word,
right. You allowed to eat
word.
too. What do you I just got a couple more questions, man. I thank you for you coming and sitting down with
Appreciate
us.
it.
Let me ask you this. Just in terms of like what do you think anybody that's out there, because I know on Clubhouse, I'm gonna keep it real with you, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Here on Clubhouse, just random people you hear in different
Uh-huh.
rooms, they have quite a few opinions about you. You know what I mean? I know it doesn't
Sure,
matter,
sure don't.
but what do you say to what you feel me? What do you say to them? And do you even? I know you don't
What I
care.
say to them is focus on making yourself something off of Clubhouse. Focus on it. And I don't,
Mm,
and I, I'm not saying that facetiously. Like honestly, like you're never gonna mount up to nothing if your ass is sitting on Clubhouse 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
yeah,
hours a
all
day.
day.
You might as well forget
Yeah,
about it. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, from Clubhouse just doesn't it's just look. I wasn't on it for a few months. I come back, it's the same bitches talking about
same
niggas, the
shit. Same
same
exact
niggas
shit, huh?
trying to figure out. It's the same shit, and it don't look like I don't see nobody's room in the thousands. So it's the same 200 people, 300 people, and I'm like, because it's the same niggas is talking about the same shit. Like you know what I'm saying? That's why
Mm-hmm.
Clubhouse isn't moving in a direction because the people that's hijacked it in the last 6 months to a year talking about the same shit. You got a bunch of miserable women on there who's just mad, 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 mad,
Mm.
mad. Like don't even go
Mm.
in the room because they're mad. You know what I'm saying? Because all the bad chicks get the man, and then so you got all the chicks that might not be so bad that's on there that's just pissed off and it's just gonna go off on everybody. Like that shit is Clubhouse ain't the move, bro. Honestly,
No, I get it. Do you think because the word is that that Wack has got an app of his own and he's about to be leaving Clubhouse soon. Do you think the quality of because we might be following suit with Wack, right? Like maybe since he's the marker that a lot of content creators on here are kind of emulating
look at
his style.
Clubhouse again. Everything
Mm-hmm.
goes with numbers. It don't matter by nothing. If you keep looking at these rooms and all these rooms at the same numbers, 200, 300, it's been the same shit for the last year. 300, maybe four, maybe five. You know what I'm saying? Like at by now, all everybody's room should be 1,300, 1,700. Like on a daily basis by now, it's still 283, 67, 131. It's the same bunch of numbers. Like I had the source for 18 years, bro. Like I knew how to take that shit and then like go to the source, do source awards. Go get a deal with J.C. Penney and put some source logos on it for some clothes.
Right.
Go get source hip hop hits. We sold 5 million of them. 5 million source hip hop hits with Def Jam. Did the biggest compilation deal that anybody's ever done. I did that. So you know what I mean? Like Clubhouse got to take it. Somebody got to take it from 200 to 300 average a day as far as the black rooms, and then we got to start talking about more stuff about do women feel that they're worthy? It's like again, it's the
Mm-hmm.
same subjects
The
for
same
the
shit,
last
right?
years. I was
I know what you're talking
surprised, bro.
about.
I'm not gonna lie. When I like when I'm like, damn, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. You know what I mean? It's nothing different. There's nothing different, and I don't know what it's gonna be. I mean, if it's to me, if it's gonna be the same numbers like this next year, then I don't see it even. I see it dying out soon,
You
like
think
how that
so?
hotline
Uh,
was back in the day and shit. The hotline.
yeah, yeah. I remember Party
Yeah,
Line, LA Rave, and
yeah.
all that shit. I remember that. Hey, Troy, man, I saw you got a question in the chat. Go ahead and ask, bro. Troy, you there? Oh, he might not be able to say it because he might be at work or something. I'll ask it for him. He wants to know about what it was like work meeting and working with DMX.
Well, I mean, the DMX thing was crazy because it was kind of predicated on this beef we had, and the situation that happened
Mm-hmm.
with the locks in Boston, because it really, the whole situation kind of started around D, but it just never, nobody ever knew that the way it played out. So when I finally got with D, um, it was just an experience that just, I mean, how can I say it? Like, I mean, yeah, it was an amazing experience. And now that he's gone, rest in peace to one of the greatest. But you know what I'm saying? It's like it flashes to me as probably one of my greatest moments in hip hop. Because again, it wasn't, this was, the way it started was, it was over some shit that supposedly happened on tour with my promotional guy that was riding the Def Jam bus. And this was the Rough Riders, Cash Money, and Made Men tour. And everybody, we had our own tour bus. They had their bus, and then there was a promotional bus, and the promotional bus would go ahead of the other cities. So it would be in the city a day ahead of time before the other bus would come and start performing. We was the opening act. It was us, Cash Money, then Rough Riders, and it was the whole crew.
Right.
Eve, Locks, X, everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, it was dope. Yeah,
Legends.
yeah, yeah.
Legends.
It was a hell of a tour. Sold out. It was dope.
That shit is fucking
Um,
crazy.
it's a long story, but I'm just gonna shorten it. Like, so there was over a chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, 9 times out of 10, over a chick that was supposedly had fucked with X, and my man Jermaine, that was my guy from Boston, who I put on the Def Jam promotion bus to go in the city, put Made Men posters everywhere. He supposedly had fucked around with some chick that X fucked around with. Words got it, boom boom. Us and the Locks end up beefing because we really was trying to talk to X. We couldn't talk X. Somebody threw a water bottle with the Locks, bunch of their niggas, bunch of us. We beef with them niggas. It wasn't even over us. Like, we had nothing to do. It was like, where's X? So boom, long. Okay, so that's wiped out now. We got cool. We had meet with the Locks. We squashed it. Boom. Me and X end up meeting in L.A. and I go to his crib, and um, you know, I had never. We had seen each other, and we even probably said what up to each other, but we never met. So when I went up to the crib, I was in LA with a bunch of niggas, and his man came down from Baltimore and was like, "Yo, X want to see you." And you know what I'm saying? He said, "But you gotta come alone." And I was like, "Okay, cool." You know what I'm saying? So I told niggas I'd be back. We left the hotel, got with my man, um, ended up driving all through that night. I didn't even know where the fuck I was going. But long story short, we get to the house, two little pit bulls come out. I knew it was X, two beautiful ass dogs.
Arr,
Yep,
arr.
yeah. And we ended up playing pool for a while. Me and his uncle. He didn't come down for a minute. And then he came down, then we started playing pool. Then he said, "Yo, let's go out." Went downstairs and he showed me the Aaliyah car, the one with the Aaliyah painted on the on the hood. It had a portrait of Aaliyah on the hood. And he was like, "This is my baby." And I was like, "Oh man, this is dope." So come on, you wanna go for a ride? So we get in. He doing like 140 down Wilshire. And I know he's trying to scare me, but I drive fast, so I wasn't scared. And we get pulled over. Police let us go. It was X. We end up going to the little spot on Sunset. It's like they got the electrical bull in there. So they got pool tables, electrical bull. We say, "Yeah, you ride the boat?" I'm like, "Nah, nah, nah. I ain't riding no boat, my nigga." He's like, "Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on." Like, "Nah, nigga, I ain't riding no fucking boat. Nah, nigga, I. So I finally get on the boat. The boat throw me all over the fucking place. He gets on the boat, rides the boat for like 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they turn the boat up. He's still on the boat. So boom. So then we play more pool. We never once talk about the beef. He never brought it up. The next day, he picks me up. We go to Hobby Town. We racing a bunch of gas cars. First time I did that. Like, I never raced those type of cars. Like, he had the big ones
Right.
with the gas in it at the Hobby Town spot. So we did that. Then we ended up going to the studio, and then his verse was actually addressing the situation. Like, Ray Benz, we got dog for a dog, and Ray Benz, and we got to be cool. And like, just like he was kind of dressed. It was like the message I got out the song was, look, whatever happened happened. We cool, man. And he mentioned the youth, something about the youth. Then the nigga Casey from Jodeci came in. That nigga sung on the hook, and I did my verse. And I don't even know what the track is now. Pete Killer did the track. Pete Killer did it. So, there's a whole track. It was called "Lean on Me." He took that "Lean on Me." He took that shit. He kind of sung the hook along with Casey. Casey, he's whoa whoa whoa, like it's like the track's
Yeah,
crazy, but it never came out.
that's
Like I don't
dope.
even know who got the track, but we had did it at Westlake Studios, and yeah,
Wow, man, a lost
yeah.
track, bro. That's fucking dope. I'm sure you got a lot of stories like that. My man Newt, Loot TV, he's got a question for you. Luke, go
Yeah.
ahead, man.
What's up with you, Zeno?
What's
How
up,
you
Lou?
doing? All right, man. First off, I want to start like this, man. So I was in I went to college in Pittsburgh in
Hmm.
'05, and I just got into a dorm with a guy who wanted to start a magazine.
Hmm.
And his whole reason and purpose for wanting to start it was because of the source, man.
Wow,
So I want to start with
wow,
that one,
that's big.
right? Because that's
That's big.
yeah, and his magazine is like doing really good to
That's
this day
dope, yo.
because of that.
Damn,
And he said you was like his main inspiration,
damn,
and he not on his app.
that's so dope.
But the
Yo,
question that I got for you is because man, I learned a lot about you during that time. But one thing, it was very hard to find out information about you, bro. You was kind of like a ghost during those
right,
times, right?
right,
Like people knew you owned the source and stuff like that, but before social media and stuff like that, like it was really hard to like know who certain people were, especially if you wasn't a front runner like how Diddy
right,
was. Diddy was more so like all in the cameras and stuff
right.
like that, right? So like when you made yourself more personable with like the loving and hip hop and all of that, right? I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. So one of the this is the question I got for you, right? Because I see how close you and Stevie are, and then I saw you guys had a some kind of spit spat. I don't
Ooh,
really
no,
watch
that
a
was
lot of
no, no, that
reality
was real.
TV,
Like we didn't speak for a year and a half after the reunion, man. That was crazy. Trust me.
so that's what I want. That's kind of like the segue to the question, right? Was like, how real was that? How serious
One hundred
was
percent,
it? To
100% real. It was a bad time in both of our lives. You got to remember, what I'm saying, we both was with our prospective women, and what I'm saying, and now we're not. So all that shit was crazy, really for nothing. And but brothers have fights, man. Brother friends have beefs, and it's not necessarily kind of the stuff that you go through that splits you up. It's to see if you can come back. And for about a year and a half, it took for us to, what I'm saying, really connect. Well, I'd say a couple of years because even when we did the first time, it was briefly, but you know, we for the last couple of years, man, we've been really tight. And I would say, well, the last few years we've been really tight, but the last year we've been super, 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 super like getting it together with each other. And man, it's just a blessing. Like I love Stevie, and at the end of the day, we've been through a lot. You know what I'm saying? But he's my brother, and the reason why we're brothers is because people don't see you know, outside of love and hip hop, how we really help each other and really kind of guide each other. Like anytime one of us gets into some bullshit, like we're the ones who's always calling each other, man. Whether it's bail, everything. When I was just locked up for a month down here, what I'm saying? The sleeves was, what I'm saying, every step of the way. Every day I damn near was talking to him. So, I mean, that's my guy, man. You know what I mean? And the shit that we went through was horrible, but it was real as fuck.
so would you say so? Let me ask you this then, because you seem like a very transparent person. I don't want you to get into the details about it, but would you say that y'all's riffraff was over pride, women, or money?
All three,
If you could pick one
all
of the
three,
three.
all three.
Mm,
But
That's
but money
crazy.
being last, money
yeah.
being last though, money being the money probably doesn't even have to be in there. But pride and yeah, and yeah, and definitely yes, and women, yeah, 100%. That fucked us up, and 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 it should be known that so that I can let niggas know to never let that happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I fell into that bullshit, and I paid the hard way. I learned the hard way, but I learned. I was blind. You know what I'm saying? Like I was ignorant through my own account.
Talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
through my own account because I didn't want to see it. When it comes to a woman, you don't want to see things. Go get Samaj. Looks good, Z.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that,
yeah.
bro. I know you a cigar man. I got a David off right here. I'm
Oh
getting ready
hell
to
yeah,
blow. I've
hell
always
yeah,
seen you. Look, listen. I've always seen you with
hell
cigars, man. I
yeah.
appreciate you taking the question. You know what I
Appreciate
mean?
it.
And thank you for enlightening us because as men, I feel like A lot of us as men, we don't go into business with each other no more because we so afraid to. And a lot of times I notice that when we do go into business with each other, it's always pride issues, it's jealousy issues, and yours played out on camera, bro. So I appreciate
Now,
that a
and
lot.
you know what, and I just appreciate you even bringing it up because if y'all can learn from it, then please do because it's true. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, like that is a perfect example of what can happen, and it did happen. And later on, look, we're not with either one of them. And we have beautiful kids that we love by each one, but we're not with either one of them. But guess who's still lasting? Guess who's still here? You know what I'm saying? So like we feel good about that, and it's no slight on the women either. Because shit, at the end of the day, man, it was a good time. And I can't sit here and try to dog out somebody that I was madly in love with because that's hypocritical. It just didn't work. That's all.
Oh, well, let me ask you this
I,
then, real quick. My bad. Just one last thing, and I'm done. How is the relationship with the rest of the crew you guys got? I think it's Rich
No,
Dollar
no, no. See, we don't.
and
It
another
was just
guy.
me and Sleeves. It was just me and Sleeves.
Okay, okay.
It was just me and Sleeves. Yeah, Rich and them was in New York. You know what I'm saying? I got a great relationship with Peter Guns, a great relationship with Cisco. Um, me and Scrappy's cool. Me and meet me in the trap. It's going down. Meet me in the bar.
oh,
Me
Young
and
Jock.
Jocks, cool. Yeah, like I mean, but so yeah, so like like, but as far as loving hip hop, it was me and Sleeves, and that was really it.
Mm. I want to I could just because we've been experiencing a lot of loss in terms of these rappers lately. Um, you know, um, it's a couple artists have been slain recently. Rest in peace, PNB Rock. What do you think about that situation? I mean, you've been in the public eye and very high profile for a long time, and I know you can't just go anywhere, right? So, I mean, what is your advice to some of these artists with a pretty sizable platform? I mean, do they need to watch where they go or
They
how
need
they
to think.
travel?
They need to think.
Mhm.
Like people got to stop just getting on live and trying to. You need to sit back and think. Use your intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Like common sense goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? You move
Mhm.
better, you live longer. It's simple. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Just
absolutely
think.
true.
Don't put pride in front of your thinking. Don't put abroad in front of your thinking. Don't put money in front of your thinking. Don't put no audience, no fan, no way. You got to think for you, for your safety, for your well-being, for whatever it is. Just think. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're in somebody else's city, think. Think about what's around you. Think about you have to just you can't stop thinking, man.